I was sitting here and this whole like board shows reversed in my viewfinder, and is like, when you undo knitting, is it tink because that's knit backwards? Like, is that why we call it tink back? Because it's knitting backwards? Oh my gosh. Oh, that, if that's true, that's really awesome. Can anybody confirm this? Can anybody confirm this? Hi friends, welcome to episode 48 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha, and you can find me anywhere online as Nadir Tani. I'm coming to you today from my home in Central Florida, and I am recording earlier in the day and later in the week this week. Today is Thursday, August 2nd. Let me digress and just say I cannot believe it's August already. Like, what? I feel like this year just flew by. Like, why is that a thing? Why is it that, like, the older you get, the faster it seems like the years run? Like, what's up with that? What's up with that? Huh, Father Time? Anyway, so, I hope the ambient noise from the greenhouse next door isn't too distracting. It shouldn't be, but if it is, I apologize. I really wanted to film outside today because it's a really beautiful day. We had a whole lot of rain last night, so like, it's not a bazillion Florida degrees as it normally is. So let's get into some crafting. But first, before we get into the crafting, last week I did a giveaway for the Key Largo lace wrap by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet, and the winner did not get in touch with me yet. So I know last episode was a really long one. I did some recapping of our trip to New Orleans, so it is a super long episode, but the giveaway announcement is at the very end, probably in like the last 5-10 minutes. So if you entered that giveaway on Ravelry, please go check out the end of that episode, see if you are the winner. If you are the winner, then send me a message, preferably on Ravelry, so that I can just forward your information to Hannah and she can get you that copy of that pattern. I am going to give one more week for the winner to get in touch with me. If they do not, then on the next episode I will be redrawing for that giveaway. So yes, I think that's everything that I have for like before the crafting. So let's jump in. I do have some finished objects, some works in progress, and like some chit-chatty stuff that I'm excited to share with you guys. So as I was encouraged last episode I wore a pair of earrings that I made a long time ago, and I was encouraged in the comment section to wear more earrings. So these are another set of earrings that I made when I was going through my whole like, I'm gonna make jewelry thing. And fun fact about these, and like this kind of long dangly style is one that I really got into because I had just shaved off all my hair. Well, not all. Godzilla! Go away. Oh Lord. Ka-cha! You're not surprised. You are not surprised because of the shenanigans. Anyway, back to what I was saying. This long dangly style is one that I started making because I had just shaved off most of my hair. I had like this much hair. Like, because I used to have a perm, so I cut it off to go natural, and I felt like I looked like a boy because I looked like my dad. So in my mind, when I shaved off all my hair, everybody was gonna think I was a boy. So I started making these long dangly earrings and wearing big hoops and stuff to like make myself look girly. Which, side note, that whole like I like feeling like I look like a boy was just perpetuated because I worked with children, and evidently they can't tell. So I was a person with short hair, so the kids would come up to me and be like, "Are you a girl or a boy?" "I'm a girl." "Where's your hair?" I cut it off. "Why would you do that?" "Because I wanted to." That's a conversation, like almost verbatim, that I had with a child in the summer program I was working at. Anyway, let me give you a closer view of these. I really like them. They are these kind of square shaped beads and then a like iridescent gold one at the bottom. I really like them. I'm so glad that I have found a lot of my handmade earrings. Now, I can't say that every week I will be wearing a different set of handmade earrings because I think I may have given away a lot of them. So, in my beading stuff, I do still have like the earring findings and stuff, so I could make more. I don't know about that. We'll see. Who knows? But this is this week's earrings, or these are this week's earrings, and they match my outfit. And I'm happy about it. So that's my first finished object. The next finished object that I'm going to tell you about, I don't have with me because I already gave it back to the person. So if you remember, maybe a month or so ago, my friend Cherie asked me to knit a collar onto this cardigan that she had. So it was like a cardigan that she bought in like, I don't know, Forever 21, H&M, some like fast fashion place like that. But the edges were raw and she didn't like how it was rolling. So she wanted to know if I could just add a collar to it. So when I first started this is one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, I can do that. But the way you decide to do it is like the hardest way possible, and it makes absolutely no sense. What I was gonna do is, it had like a zipper that came up the front, and then the part of the collar here, and then the part that goes around the back. So I was going to do 1, 2, 3. And I was like, yeah, you know, I just need to figure out how to connect them, blah, 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 blah. And some genius in the comments said, why don't you just knit it in one piece? You know how sometimes you just overlook the simplest way. So after I read that, I was like, duh, that's what I should have been doing to begin with. So I ripped out everything that I did, and then I picked up stitches all the way around the whole thing. In the front, I decreased 1 stitch at the beginning and end of each round, or each row. And I probably did maybe 6 to 8 rows. So the collar at the end was about that thick. It was just enough to make the edge lie flat, but didn't get too bulky above the zipper. So I took some pictures of her wearing it, so I'll put those in here. And she really likes it, and so I'm like super excited about that. I felt very accomplished, and yeah, level up on my knitting game. The next finished object that I have is one of those ones that you start on a whim. So a couple nights ago, I just wanted to make something, and I wanted to make something from beginning to end, just like instant gratification project. I don't know what I was feeling, but I was feeling kind of like, I just need to make something. And I had bought like one of those little balls of cotton, like washcloth cotton, and I was like, I'm gonna make a washcloth because I have one crochet washcloth that I kind of like using. So I bought this ball of cotton, and I crocheted a washcloth. Of course, I lost the band to the cotton, so I'm going to see if I can find the brand, and I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. But this is the washcloth, and it came out really nice. I made the whole body out of double crochets, Is that right? I think. No. No. I made the body out of half double crochets, and then the first and last rows are double crochets. Why? Just because I felt like it. I used the whole ball because what are you gonna do with a teeny tiny little bit left of cotton? So I mean, it's kind of good to know that out of one of those balls of cotton I can get a whole washcloth. This was one that I got from Joann's, and they're smaller than like the Lily Sugar and Cream or the other one that looks like Lily Sugar and Cream, but it's not. I forget what kind it is. But this one, it was like $1.75 a ball, and I used like a 40 or 50% off coupon. So this was pretty cost efficient, I think. Whatever. Probably not, to be honest. Probably should have just gotten a bigger thing of crochet cotton or of cotton yarn and made more, but I just wanted one thing, and that the ball was like this big, and it just made me feel good. Like, I started it, I finished it, I've washed my face with it, I really like it. And it's damp right now, so it's really cool. I might keep this nearby. And then the very last finished object that I have for you guys is a pair of socks. So here they are. These are the Iris, the Jojo Land Melody is the body, and the colorway is Iris. The heels and toes are, is it Lion Brand? Lion Brand Sockies, I think, in the color Snow Cone. Now, last week I was talking about, oh, you know, the Jojo Land Melody is only a 50-gram ball, so I need to go buy another one so that I can have a full pair of socks, and I'm going to make these super tall and blah, blah, blah. And I had gotten, which one is the first one? This is the first one. So I got into like here, and then I thought, you know what? I'm not going to buy another pair of socks or another ball of yarn. I am going to do Afterthought heels and save $7. So I knit 2 tubes. This is first, this one is the second. They have, it's 64 stitches, 25 rows of 2x2 ribbing. Oh, the cast on is a German twisted cast on like I normally do. 25 rows of 2x2 rib, stockinette for the tube, Kalisha's rounded toe, Kalisha's favorite rounded toe for the toe, and then I did the Afterthought heel following the Kirby Werby method down to, and I decreased down to 10 stitches per needle. Now, I know before I said I don't really like the way that Afterthought heels fit, but I think that I was just not like, I hadn't figured out how I like them to fit. So what I did in this one that's different than the other Afterthought heels that I've done in the past, I worked 5 rows even, like just knitting around for 5 rows, and then I started the decreases. So there's a little extra space right here before the decreases start. It's like all of this is even, and then the decreases start right here. So, oh, the wind started blowing. So yeah, and then when I tried them on, I think I made the heel too narrow. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this again. I'm still trying with Afterthought heels. I'm going to do maybe 6 rows even before the decreases, and then only decrease down to 12 stitches per needle and see if that fits my heel better, because this is definitely way too narrow. Which is funny because when I do the short row heels, I do those down to 10 stitches and it fits fine. Weird. So these don't have a fancy name. I told Lamar that they remind me of the Joker because of this part here. I don't know if you can tell, but this is green and purple. And it was very, like, the whole thing is very Jokery to me. Who knows? Who knows? Also, I managed to pick up most of my stitches properly instead of twisting them when I picked up the stitches for the Afterthought heel. So I was proud of that. Small victories, guys, you gotta celebrate. So that is all of my not works in progress, all of my finished objects. And now we'll go into works in progress. So the first I have to show you, since I finished those socks, and those are the socks that I worked on through New Orleans, and then since I was so close to finishing them, I was just like, I'm gonna knock these out. I'm not gonna pick up my other pair of socks. So I am now back to the folded cuff socks. And again, I have decided to, I think, vary from what I told you guys last week, which I feel like is going to be a common thing that I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to say that I'm going to do one thing, and then 2 days later I'm going to be like, that's a stupid idea. You should do XYZ. So this is my folded cuff sock. It has 15 rows of stockinette, and then a purl row, and then you do 16 more rows. And you fold it in on itself, like join it. I can't really explain how you're supposed to join it. And then you knit the leg. This leg has 60? Maybe? I think it's 60 rows on the leg, and then I did a short row wrap and turn heel. And then what I'm going to do is knit the whole foot in this purple, and then the toe is going to be in this color. And I weighed my yarn, so I should have enough to finish this, like, of this color to finish the second set, or the second sock. So yeah, I will have another ball of this to do something else with. So side note, I have really gotten into this whole, like, making my socks out of a 50-gram ball and contrast. So that might be a thing I do. But the only thing is, like, I want to, like, explore more, like, indie dyed yarns and, you know, like, pretty yarns like that. But they're mostly all sold in 100-gram balls, or 100-gram skein, 100-gram skeins. But because I know I can get a sock out of 50, I'm like, can somebody do 50 grams? Is that, like, is that hard to do? I don't know. Whatever. So I'm actually, like, on the lookout for people who are doing the 50-gram, like, dyeing 50-gram skeins instead of 100 grams. So yeah, if you know anybody that does that, leave a comment down below. So yeah, there isn't really much else to say about this. I need to just hurry up and get these done because I'm really tired of looking at them. Because if you remember, these were the Kalisha's gonna try to knit on 9-inch circulars socks. Epic fail. So, and you can even see, like, here there's a curve, and here there's a curve, and then it tightens up, and then it comes back out a little bit. That's how many times my gauge changed while trying to figure out my life with these 9-inch circulars. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So I'm back on Magic Loop, which is my happy place, evidently. And when Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted comes back around, if somebody wishes that, oh, I want to try out 9-inch circulars, I'm granting that wish. Yep. So this is This purple is, yeah, Lion Brand Sock Ease and Grape Soda. This variegated is Red Heart, Heart and Soul in the Sorbetto colorway. So yeah, those are they. Them is that. Fun fact, this is one of my early Quirky Monday bags that I made for myself. This fabric was a tablecloth that I made a dress out of. Next work in progress. You guys are going to be proud of me because this is one of the projects that I whip shamed myself about and haven't shown it to you since I whip shamed myself. It's the Zenobia blanket. Yay! And if you will remember, the last time I showed it to you, I was in the yellow section. I don't remember how many rows of yellow I had, but okay, this is the beginning of the round. So there are 1, 2, 3 rows of yellow. I think I was 2 in, but I have gotten into the orange section and it's going. Right now, I am working on a black row, and I was gonna calculate, like, do the math to see how many stitches are on this current row. I'm gonna calculate that up and put it on the screen, and just know that each row is growing by 12 stitches, I think it is. I have 12 sections, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So each row is growing by 12 stitches, and it's a lot of stitches, y'all, but I really like it. That's my seam. I almost hate to give this away, but I'm going to because it's going to be for a classroom, and I do love the children. I do love the children's. So let me show you how much yarn I have left. This is how much is left of the black. This is Karen Simply Soft in black. And the rainbow is Lion Brand Mandala in the Gnome colorway. So I'm going to keep working on this until I get into this bright purple. I'm not going to do this green, and not going to do that like greeny, like gross purple. I'm going to stop when I get into the bright purple. So I have the rest of the orange, which isn't a whole lot. Then I have this pink, and then I have the bright purple, and then it'll be done. I am going to need to buy another ball of the black. It kind of irks me a little bit because I know that I'm not going to finish out that second ball, and I'll just have like a random ball of black yarn laying around. Maybe I'll make one more a hat. Who knows? So that is the Zenobia blanket. I have had like some progress on it. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put in a progress keeper. Oh, do I have one? I'll just take this stitch marker off of here, so that the next time you guys see it, we won't have a question as to where I was before. Oh no! Stitch marker down. Alright. We have been marked. So yeah. That is everything in my works in progress. And this will actually transition us nicely into stash acquisitions / maker plans, because I took this to work with me like a couple weeks ago, and I was sitting with one of my coworkers at lunchtime, and she was like, ooh, like her eyes got so big. And she's like, what's that? So I was telling her, it's a blanket I'm making for a friend. And she was like, oh, it's a blanket you're making for me? No, it's for a different friend. She was like, oh, I love it so much. Can you make me one? So I was like, I'll think about it. And whilst I think I got this in Joann's, I came across this Super Saver Stripes, and this is the favorite stripe colorway. and it's got like all the bright colors. So I don't think they go in like, oh, they might. Yeah, they are in rainbow order. Okay, so I take back what I was just about to say. They are in rainbow order, so I'm going to get probably another one of these and pair it with one of the like Super Saver black yarns that I have, and I'm either going to stripe it. It's going to be a rectangle blanket because ain't nobody got time for that round stuff, because that is frustrating. Okay, it's not frustrating, it's just like mildly annoying that each round is longer than the last one. But with a rectangle, like, that is your round. Like, that's your row. Not gonna change. You're good. Just whoop, whoop, whoop. So, rectangle blanket. I might stripe it, meaning do one row or so of this and then a black row. Or what I think I might be leaning towards is just carrying them double and do a strand of this and a strand of black, because I think that would make it like that marley, speckly kind of look. I'm gonna do like a swatch and see which way I like better, but I think I'm leaning towards the marl. Ooh, nah, I was gonna say maybe I could marl it like a couple rows with black and then a couple rows with white. No, not gonna do that. I think black will really make these colors pop. So that's that. I got it at Joann's. I think it was like $3.99, and I used a coupon because I always use a coupon at Joann's. Who goes to Joann's and doesn't use at least one coupon? If that's you, get on your coupon game. They take all of them. So yeah, so that will be a second Zenobia blanket, just not in the round. Now, my next my next maker plan, I'm super excited about it. It is brought to you by the thrift store, and let me just show you. So I went into my local thrift store. Okay, let me clarify that. I went to my local Goodwill because I have quite a couple local thrift stores. But I went into the Goodwill and I forget what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for anything. I had just donated like 3 or 4 bags of stuff to the thrift store, and I was like, I just cleared all this stuff. Let me go see if there's anything that I want, because anyway. And I saw this hoodie on a mannequin, and our Goodwill does like a color of the week, and that color is 50% off. So this is the hoodie, mini, because Florida. And I don't have anything like Disney themed for real. I have like one shirt, and I'm like, I need more Disney themes. So this is the hoodie I found, and it was the regular price. It was $3.99. It was the color of the week color, so I got it for 50% off. So I got this hoodie for $2. Super excited about that. And when I took it off the mannequin, the tag said large, and I was like, I don't know what large this is. It's probably a child's large, but they had it in the women's section. It's not a women's large, because I'm going to show you a picture of how this hoodie fits me, and you will understand there is no way that this is a women's large. So yeah, those sleeves, way too short. So when I tried it on, I saw that the sleeves were too short. Like, now provided I think I have broader shoulders than average, and my arms are very long. When I put this on, I of course saw how short it was, and I was like, well, I could just wear it pushed up. Or I could refashion it. So what I've decided to do, and this is actually something I've done before, so I am going to, let me see if I can straighten this sleeve out. Okay, so I'm going to cut the sleeve, like cut it here, and then I'm going to add in like a panel of fabric right here. And I'm going to do that to both sleeves, which will make the sleeves long enough and add some more like interest to this pretty boring hoodie. Now it's a lightweight hoodie, which I really like because Florida, and I've already worn it once because I can't have anything new, and I really like it. It's very comfortable, and the only thing that it has going against it is that the sleeves are about 2-3 inches too short. So I've pulled two fabrics that I'm going to decide between. I have either the black and white polka dot that I could do, or the red and white polka dot that I could do. I don't know, I'm like 50-50 torn. So which do you vote for? The last time I asked you guys to choose between things, you all were very decisive and there was a clear majority. So let's do it again. Which one do you think that I should choose for my panel of fabric in the middle of my sleeves for this hoodie? Yeah. A or B? So yeah, I'm excited to start that. And yeah, the only other thing with this hoodie, it's a little bit short like in the body, but that's fine. I'm not gonna lengthen the body because that would be doing the most, the absolute most. That's everything for the stash positions and maker plans that are linked together. I do have a couple other stash positions that I wanted to show you guys, and they are both books from one of my other local thrift stores. And this is one that I went to yesterday on a whim because I got off work and I was driving home, and this is one of those thrift stores that is like never open. Like their hours are so narrow that it's almost like a lightning strike when I can get in there. And I've only been in that store one other time, I think. Yeah, I think so. And they're closed. They're open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then they're closed for the rest of the week. So I'm never able to get into this shop. So yesterday I lucked out and I said, let me just go in here and see, you know, what there is. And I'm really glad that I went in there. One, because it's an Adventist run thrift store, which whenever I see things like that are Adventist, like out in the world, it makes me smile because I'm like, oh, my people. But so I go into this thrift store and I'm walking around and I go into the book section, and they have a whole set of these Bible story books that I had when I was little, and like it made me ridiculously happy. I took a picture of it, so I'm gonna put it up here. Nobody probably cares about the fact that I found these books, but it just brought me joy in that moment. And I immediately called my mom and I was like, Mom, do we still have these books? Because I want them. And she was like, yeah, we still have your set. You know, it's in your little brother's room. And I was like, cool. She said, I'm gonna check when I get home. So I left those books there. And when I talked to her later on that night, she was like, well, I have most of them. There's 10 books in the collection. She has 2 through 9. And I was like, Mom, so we're missing the beginning of the Bible and the end of the Bible? So fingers crossed, when they're open next week, hopefully I will be able to get in there and buy those books because I want the whole set. I'm just digressing all over the place today. So I did pick up 2 books, and they're craft books. I got this one, Knitwit 30 Easy and Hip Projects by Amy R. Singer. Oh, she's an editor for knitty.com. That's nice. So this book, it has a whole bunch of really cool projects in it, and I got it specifically, well, because I like, whenever I find thrifted, or whenever I find knit or crochet books in the thrift store, I tend to pick them up if there's at least 1 or 2 things in there that I want to make. And I want to make that. And I want to make, there was something else in here I wanted to make. Oh, girly boxers. Yes, yes please. I want knit shorts to wear in Florida. That might be a poor choice, I don't know. But yeah, so I got this book. All of their books were 40% off, so this cost me a whopping 60 cents. Same thing with this one, and this is Needlework Monograms, Unlimited Contemporary Styles. So basically, this is a book of letter graphs for needlepoint, but because they're written out on graphs, it's like super easy to translate for knitting or crochet or anything like that. So I'm kind of excited about that. And this was also 60 cents. So look at that. Like, I could do, if I was like super like zealous, I could make a blanket with like me and Lamar's initials and have like this pretty R in the middle and an L and a C, and it could be like our wedding colors or something, and that could be like a legitimate heirloom piece if I was zealous and motivated enough to do it. But it's a nice idea, right? All the ideas, I have them. I have them all. So yeah, those are the last 2 things I got for Stash Positions. And that's all of my like making content that I have. For this week's Black Fibers, Black Threads, ow, that hurts. For this week's Black Fibers, Black Threads section, normally I would do something about Black people in fiber, but this week I want to talk about something that has kind of taken the social media fiber community by storm, and that is the diversknitty hashtag on Instagram. Basically, this is a tag, I believe it was started by a sockmatician, and it is encouraging like people of diverse backgrounds to share who they are, like basically introduce themselves and say, hey, I'm here, this is what I do, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, and just to bring more visibility to the diversity that is actually in the fiber community, but that you don't see on a wider base. So what I had been seeing on, like, I was looking at the hashtag and it was really cool because you were seeing like lots of, like, people would take a selfie and like do like an about me kind of blurb or something like that, and it was really nice. And then Gigi made it. She did a blog post about, does her, I want to say it was like, does my ethnicity affect my knitting skill or something like that. If that's not exactly the title, I'll put it at the bottom. But it was a really interesting read, and I feel almost like people have, like, that misconception does float around that, oh, you know, like, Black people only, like, if Black people knit, it's like basic stuff, like you're not designers or you're not this or not that, but it's just because you don't see it, you know. And so one of the biggest things that the diversknitty hashtag is doing, and that I really appreciate, is that it is putting a spotlight on like knitwear designers, indie dyers, knitters in general, crocheters in general, of color, and of like other diversities. And I think that's really cool. I really, really hope that it's not going to be like a passing thing. Like, where when the next hashtag comes up, everyone's forgotten about, you know, wanting to encourage the diversity. But there was a quote by Diane of Lady Diane, and I had to write it down because when she posted, the picture was like her logo, and it said like my thoughts on diversknitty, and the caption was like mad long. So I read it, and you know when you read something and you're just like, yes, 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 all of this. Like, that's how I felt when I was reading her caption, and I was just like, you know, these feelings are so right on. So I wrote down this section from her caption, and it says, when people see others who look like them doing the same things, they feel comfortable and included in communities, and that's what's needed in this industry. When I read that, like, I was like, she can just drop the mic right now. Like, that's it. Like, you want to see someone that looks like you, and that helps you feel comfortable. And even in like in regular life, like when I go to a new place, if I don't see anyone that looks like me or seems like me or anything that is familiar in any way, it is very uncomfortable. Not saying that you can't be in that situation, but it is very uncomfortable. And the idea or the fact that this diversknitty hashtag has come out, and it has basically pointed out or given people a platform almost to raise their hands and say, this is what I do in this space, that can definitely encourage other people who are wanting to do the same thing. And I say all the time, like, this is why, like, this is a main reason why I started sharing my crafting and stuff on social media. Like, back in the day when I used to write on a blog, the whole reason I started that blog was because I was looking for Black people who are sharing their creativity in this area, and I could not find it. You know, there were, like, I was coming across a couple blogs here and there, but the thing I was running into is that they were dead blogs, you know? Like, oh, okay, this person was writing about their sewing journey and stuff like that, but the last post that they did was 2 years ago. You know, and then when Instagram became a thing, you know, I'm on there. I'm looking for other crafters who are like the same as me, you know. And it was like we were so spread out and far between, and there wasn't any, like, it was hard to connect the dots between us. But now I am seeing so much more of, you know, I approach the diversity and the diversknitty from the standpoint of somebody who is a knitter and crocheter of color, because that's all I can do. Like, that's where, those are the shoes that my feet are in. So when I look at this hashtag and I see people participating in it and saying, like, this is what I do, it just really makes me feel like here it is, like, here we are, you know. And of course this has really been like signal boosted by Lorna Hamilton Brown, who did her dissertation about the myth that Black people don't knit. And of course, like, she was the first person that I saw that talked about this hashtag, which then linked back to Nathan of the Sockmatician. And it's like people are popping up like popcorn or daisies, I don't know. But it just feels so good to be able to look and see more and more people saying, here I am here, I do this. You are not just chilling out by yourself, you know, here. And that is really awesome. And I really hope that it sticks around. Another thing that I hope it encourages is I hope it encourages publications to highlight more makers of color and more makers of various backgrounds, and so that when you look at knitting or crocheting like in a big picture, like when you walk into Barnes and Noble or whatever your local bookstore is, and you go into the needlecraft magazine section, that it's not just a row of white women faces, you know. One of the images that's recently been circulating is, I believe it's the cover of the newest Pom Pom magazine, and I've been tagged in this cover twice. I've been tagged in the picture twice, which is hilarious because the lady in the picture, I'll put her name at the bottom because I can't think of it right now, but she's standing. It's an older black woman, and she looks like the best auntie. Like she has good stories. But she has on this sweater, and the sweater has like all these moon phases and like stars and stuff knit on it. And I've been tagged in it twice. Like, oh, I saw this and I thought of you. Just a little space child over here living my life. But just the idea of being able to like walk into a yarn store and I see this magazine and it's like somebody that legit looks like one of my family members, is such an awesome feeling. You know, it really encourages that feeling of inclusion. Like, yes, I belong in this space. I don't have to prove my worthiness to be in this space. Like, and that is a big thing for me. So big thanks to Nathan for starting this hashtag. Big thanks to Gigi Made It and Lorna Hamilton Brown for signal boosting it. And big thanks for everybody who has actually joined in. I haven't taken a picture or shared anything about myself because low-key it's like freaking me out a little bit. I don't know why, because I get on here and I talk to you guys and like you're friendly, so it's not like I'm gonna post a picture about myself and be like, this is who I am, and people are gonna say we don't care about you. That's really like the thoughts that are happening in my head every time I think about like sharing a diversknitty post. There's that little annoying voice in the back of my head that's like, nobody really cares about what you have to say. Shut up, voice. That's what I need to do. I just need to be like, shut up. I'm gonna take this selfie now. I'm gonna tell people about me. I'm gonna do that. So before this goes up, you'll probably have seen my diversknitty post. You heard it here. So yes, that is everything that I have for you guys today. Leave a comment down below of something positive that happened to you this week so that we can all share in that positivity. You have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. Get some crafting in. Check out the diversknitty hashtag on Instagram. And thanks for being part of my universe. Bye-bye.